Yeah, hello everyone. iSamfix Computer Solutions. Yeah, we have a Lenovo today, and check the power button. When I press, I'm getting a white LED. Yeah, sometimes it's maintaining, but not for quite long. It's just for some minutes and it's out. Yeah, so let's insert the charger there. Yeah, let's do. I don't have the tip. Let me grab the appropriate tip for this laptop. Yeah, the tip is here. Return the rest and let's insert the charger now. So on my power supply, it's taking 0.6. Yeah, but the laptop is not going to turn on. What could be the problem? That's why we want to work on this laptop and see if we'll be able to have a solution. So let's open it. Let's open it. So it's open. Yeah, so let's try to check for. So I'll try to. What is this? So let us disconnect the battery first. Yeah, let's. So the RAM slot, there's a cage or there's a protecting shield on the RAM slot. Oh, I need to grab it so that I can access the RAM. Yeah, so I'll reset the BIOS and see if this is a problem with the BIOS. Yeah, we're shorting the two terminals on the CMOS. Let's now try to power it on again. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so what I'm understanding from the power supply, the 0.6 amperes was the battery charging, but not the motherboard, because after we disconnected the battery, the amperes are not as before. So the motherboard is out. So I'm trying to remove the protecting paper here. So let's insert the charger again. Put on the multimeter. Yes, see some voltages there. We have the 19. My camera is not. So let me go, first of all, go back to the 19 and set the camera to a better place, like there. And most of the Lenovo chargers, we see the 20 volts, and so the 20 is going to be okay. So insert it again. So still taking 17 milliamps, stick some voltages, 19. What is here? So the most critical voltage, I have 0.8. I think that's for the battery. 0.8. Yeah, the main voltage is the 19, the 5, the 3.3. I already got the 19. 19 again. 19. Well, the 5 volts and 3.3 volts. Those are the power state on a motherboard when the motherboard is not on. Is that S1, the S1 power state, the S0, the S2, the S4, the S3? I'm not getting the 5, neither the 3. Okay, I have the 3. What about the 5? 5 volts, I'm not getting. I'm not getting the 5 volts, and yeah, this means that something has happened. That's why you don't have the 5 volts. Maybe a shorted chip, maybe a component that is not passing power to the other end. But we will figure it out together. Yeah, 3 volts here. One. So I have the 19 and 3, but I don't have the 5 even after I press the power button. Let me check here. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get the 5 volts. Let's go for short detecting method. Let's try to check for short using a multimeter. That's one is good. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I have a short on this coil. I am having a short on this coil. Yep, yep. This is a short. Yeah, let's try uh, to detect that short. So I'll come and solder a wire on this coil. As you can see, I want to inject some voltages, and I'll start with 1 to see if I'll get something hot. So let me come with a thermal camera and see. Yeah, let's put it on. I think we can do with 1 volt first. 1 volt first is okay. Wow, something is taking that power. The amperes going to almost 7 amps. That is 0.7 amps, not 7 amps. 7 amps is too much. Actually, the maximum for my power supply, I think is it 10 or 5? So 7 amp is enough amperage to be running a motherboard when it's on. You can see that place is getting hotter. So let's go under the microscope and try to determine what is causing. This is the area that is getting hot. Yeah, so let's use some alcohol. So some alcohol. So with the earbud it's not working, so I'll have to drip. Yeah, like that. So let me try. Okay, something is drying up alcohol very quickly here. Oh, I think I can see that cup. So let me go up by 2 amps. It's 2 amp. So pour some more alcohol. Yeah, I think this cup, the cup, you can see, yeah, now you know which cup is causing this problem. We are very aware of the cup that is responsible for this problem, responsible for the death of this laptop. So we are going to take this cup out. We're going to remove the cup. So flax first. Yeah, flax is good. It contains solder. So just for some short, yes, there's short on this cup, as you can see. We are testing using a check my multimeter there. There's a short. Now. Yeah, this might be the reason as to why we don't have the 5 volts on the motherboard. Yeah, so let's see whether if we solve this short, we see whether the 5 volts is going to come back and if the motherboard is going to work, because 5 volts is a very important voltage on this motherboard, and without it, the motherboard is not going to work. So let's measure again to see whether the short is gone. Let's have some measurements here. I see the short is gone. We were getting dead short on both sides of the terminal, but now, as you can see, in other areas we have started to detect a value. Yeah, value means that the short is going. Let's go back to that coil and see whether we are still getting a dead short or we are getting a value. Yeah, we have a value of 3098, and that's good. So we solved that short, and now I hope this motherboard is going to work, because it looks like it has not been tampered before. I was the first person on this motherboard, I can tell, and so the chances of this being the only fault on this motherboard is very high. We might not have any other fault on this laptop. Let's replace that component. We are going to replace that cap and test. So I'll grab it from this motherboard here. Let me do some focus. Yeah, we are going to grab one of the cups there. Yeah, like that. Don't run away. It's okay. That's fine. Yeah, the cup it's in its position. That's very fine. We cool down. Now it's time to test. Let me desolder the wire from the coil. Yeah. Yeah, let me now insert the charger. Remember, the motherboard alone without the battery was taking maximum of 23 milliamps. Now, without the short, is it going to go back to... So let me take my power supply back to the normal voltage and ampere ratings. Yeah, now the motherboard is taking 0.8 amperes without the battery. Remember, the battery was the one that was taking the 0.6 amperes. And this motherboard is running. Let's see whether we have back our 5 volts. The 5 volts that was missing, is it back? Oh, I'm still in continuity. Let me change back to... Let me see. We have 5 volts. The 5 volts is back, and it's back exactly to the same coil that was shorting to ground. So that is nice. We are going to assemble. Let's take back the motherboard to the casing and see. Yeah, it's good to return that paper. It's a kind of foil. It's a foil kind of a paper. And so let's try to take the motherboard back. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if the... Wow. Yeah, it's working fine. Yeah, the laptop is okay. Yeah, I'm trying to hide so that we might not... Yeah, it's a complete loader. Can see also the background on the operating system. We're trying to hide the customer's details, so the laptop is ready, and that's all for now. So keep liking, sharing, and please support our work by subscribing. And let me know what you think down in the comment section if you have a question, and we will meet in the next video. Bye. iSamfix Computer Solutions for you.